largely a solemn atmosphere with a curious media who are keeping their tabs on what there is to report as regards the passing of the former First Lady, the longest serving, for that matter, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who served in both military regime and civilian rule. However, all four children are seated here with the head of family as well. It's been a busy day, just a day after the announcement of the passing of the former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Presently, in the background, if you can hear, it's an official introduction of leadership of the National Democratic Congress, who are already seated. For they got here just a minute or two before the leadership of Parliament and also some members of Parliament also joined. They are still, waiting at the outer foyer, if you like, of the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Hopefully they'll be seated, and then we'll go through the necessary tradition as custom demands, and then we'll see if we can have any of them to share a word or two. Just so you know, a while ago, the Member of Parliament for Tamale South,
Minister for Education, Haruna is also here. And the camera is able to if the camera is able to live except the leadership of Parliament describes a number. Yeah, the majority leader, Member of Parliament for Bokutenshaw, Honorable Hassan. I beg your pardon, Honorable Muhammad Larija, the minority leader, Member of Parliament for Citi Central, Honorable Daniel Martin. I also see Council various Member of Parliament for Adan, also a leader on the majority side of the House. Yes, presently they are entering the inner perimeter of the residence. There's an area that has been brought to, protocol. So they are exchanging pleasantries with the family, all four present, and other relatives of the former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Yes, I just cited Member of Parliament for Bawi, Honorable Jerry Ahmed, because of the deputy minority, second deputy minority. So we are really here in their numbers to communicate with a figure who has largely been described as an iconic figure in political landscape. Many have described it as a yardstick for essentially the justice, giving the passing towards the driving women empowerment, sparking conversation
about educating the girl child, and how integral she was during her husband, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings' reign as president, both in the military regime and the civilian rule. So if you are watching us live on Channel 1 television or listening to us on Citi 97.3 FM, the big story is that Ghana's longest serving First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, has departed, and a number of individuals, both government officials, a section of the public, and what have you, have made their way here at the residence in Accra to commiserate with the family. It's been a busy day, so yes, they are going around to exchange pleasantry. I see Madam Patricia PJ, Deputy Minority Leader, presently also. Yes, I also see Member of Parliament for Wija Bawi, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shai. and the rank and file of both sides of the House of Legislature. We know how Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, while she was alive, how ubiquitous she was. I mean, there was barely a day, you would not find her there in the house, in Parliament, during any national event, talk about budget reading, and other functions. Madam Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was usually found somewhere in the gallery there, or the spaces designated for important figures like her, supporting. So we are still coming to you live from the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. I see Honorable Okovanda-Poe, Member of Parliament for Ablekuma South, who also served as mayor, former mayor or Metropolitan Chief Executive for the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, a very popular one for that matter. They are all here in their numbers, and when we talk about Okovanda-Poe, he has a history with the Rawlings family, particularly Jerry John Rawlings, but that will be a conversation for another day perhaps. The news is that former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is no more, and the entire nation is mourning. Yes, I just spotted Member of Parliament for West Central and Minister for Employment, Jobs and Labour Relations, Honourable Dr. Rashid Pelpu, exchanging pleasantry presently with leadership of the governing National Democratic Congress. The Umbrella Fraternity are here in their numbers also to commiserate following the passing of the spouse or founder of their party, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. It's been a busy day and we've been keeping our tabs, bringing you all there is to know on this recent development. It's quite a long queue if you ask me. Yes, the members of Parliament are still trickling in their numbers, entering the inner perimeter of the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, whose passing was announced yesterday while receiving treatment at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Largely solemn atmosphere, a moment of reflection and what have you. Earlier, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, popular, man of God, was also here, who shared a few words of consolation to the bereaved family. Member of Parliament for Tamale South was also here a while ago, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. And one thing that has been running all through the eulogy or the tributes that have been pouring in for the former First Lady was her dedication, towards empowering women, being an active, force in Ghana's political landscape, championing conversations of national development and what have you. They say if there is any woman to look up to in politics, out of one, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is most likely to be one. So yes, members of Parliament have made their way here at the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings to perform what has been happening all day, commiserating with the bereaved family. So just so you know that both leaders of the majority and the minority caucus are all here. And we see the majority leader and member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga, here. Also the member of Parliament for Efutu and minority leader, Honorable Alexander Apenyo Maken, also here. to commiserate with the bereaved family. It's a nation in grief, really. Earlier, when the Busuapinian spoke, he said that, and then of course, one of her daughters, a member of parliament for Konadu, and she alluded to the fact that but for Nana Konadu's, relatively old age, which is 76, this would have largely been described as a shock, given the fact that just a day before her demise, the former First Lady was active and even attended a public event, only for them to wake up the next morning and to be hit by this sad news. But all in all, that death is indeed inevitable. It is that visitor who keeps gate crashing. You would never, it doesn't come pre-announced, yes. So they are finding solace in this entrenched part of our existence as humans. Again, if you just tuned in to Channel 1 TV or Citi 97.3 FM, we are still coming to you live from the residence of the former First Lady, Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who passed away yesterday at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital while receiving treatment. A number of notable figures and a section of the public have all been here to commiserate with the family, but presently is the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, funded by the party's national chairman, Johnson Asiodun-Kitsia, popularly known as General Mosquito, who, of course, worked closely with the Rawlings family, precisely former President Jerry John Rawlings and his wife, Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who are both no more with us. In a third, we'll be hearing from them, the leadership of the NDC, and of course leadership of the House of Legislature, who have also joined in here at the residence to commiserate with the bereaved family.
On your behalf, ask the chairman of the party to make his intervention before
as announced, we will be hearing officially from leadership of the governing National Democratic Congress, but now presently is the head of family speaking to officially welcome the delegation present here. The head of the family, Oheneba Akwesi Abeye, and of course from the Menchia Palace, is speaking. We want to pick that sound.
Under normal circumstances, we wouldn't see all of you here. And something really significant must have triggered you leaving house I'm not sure whether you were being chased by a big elephant. No pun here. But I would like that your chairman kindly stands up so that the majority leader, obviously, the majority leader understands it here. Honorable majority leader, you've now delegated your shoes to him. That's right. So, Majority Chief Whip. Thank you very much. You now tell us your mission. Go back. Yo, Busuapinian, on behalf of the Speaker of Parliament, the entire leadership of Parliament, and the clerk, to Parliament, as well as the head of the Parliamentary Service. We are here out of the tragedy that has befallen us unexpectedly. We are here to commiserate with you. So we would need to extend best condolences to the family. We are also shocked by what happened, especially because our mother was in the news on Wednesday. Hello, Acho Hanyadi, please. Let's have some quiet, please. Let's have some quiet. Especially because our mother was in the news on Wednesday. To hear this on Thursday, it was shocking. So I would hand over the mic to the majority leader, the leader of the delegation, to but the tradition is that on occasions like this, you need to come and ascertain the veracity or otherwise of what has been.
Would get back to something to find out whether or not what we have heard is indeed true. Thank you. Get back to you. Get back. Let me thank
the majority chief whip, and to say that yesterday in Parliament we had a very important business of the Committee on Security and Intelligence to meet and plan the consideration of a very important bill that has been laid in the House. The chairperson of that committee happens to be our own colleague, the Honorable Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. We had assembled to work when we received the message that our chairperson was unable to join us because she had an emergency. And so that got us very worried. What was the nature of the emergency? So we decided that given that our chairperson had an emergency, we had to postpone the meeting. And we postponed the meeting. Later in the day, we saw reportage on social media and later by some traditional media houses regarding what the emergency was. We did not believe it. We were shocked. And so we could not even really sit in the House yesterday. We promptly adjourned proceedings and decided that we wanted to proceed here immediately yesterday afternoon to ascertain the veracity of what we had heard. And when we had assembled to hasten to this house, we were told that the family was immediately unavailable to receive us. So we rescheduled to come here to find out exactly if what we had heard is indeed what had transpired. And so today again, we curtailed proceedings and we're here, all the members of parliament who attended sitting today, both the majority and the minority. So before us here, the NDC members of parliament and the NDC members of parliament, led by myself and my colleague, the minority leader, and the entire leadership, and then the second deputy speaker, because our speaker is out of the jurisdiction, and the first deputy speaker is out of the jurisdiction, and the clerk is also out of the jurisdiction. So his deputies are here to represent him. So Parliament is here to hear from the family if indeed what we heard is what actually happened. That is what has brought us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ayaga. Indeed, your very presence here, the whole of the House of Parliament, your very presence here, indicates the enormity of what has happened or befallen our nation. It's without Her Excellency, Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, was a rare in this country. As you said, the committee of which her first daughter, Senator, meeting yesterday, up because of an emergency. An emergency, indeed it was. Of your colleague has correctly said, on Wednesday, and she attended various She attended the burial service of her aunt, Mrs. Ifa. Those of you who were able to watch the telling, you see that she was sitting very close to His Excellency, ex-President before, and others. So nothing could have hinted us that she was in any kind of distress. As usual, in her normal, vivial form, she went round greeting everybody. And then we dispersed. In the early hours of yesterday, however, as the Senator explained to me when she beckoned me to come, she felt rather unwell and was, as it were, rushed to the Rich Hospital, which is very close to her residence. The doctors there did their best, and by their report to me when I visited, them. They did their best. All the talent, medical talent at Rich Hospital was assembled for her survival. But unfortunately, if there's one dispute we humans cannot fight with God or Allah, it is at the point of death. It's at the point of death when Creator shows his might and Nana succumbed to her Creator. It was a very, very, very difficult situation. We had no choice but to immediately inform His Excellency the President of the Republic, who quickly summoned us to come to his office. So I led the delegation of the children, plus Kenebebulate, to Jubilee House and duly informed His Excellency the President. I also made sure that Konadu's own Otufo Asantini, His Majesty Otufo Osejutu the second Asantini, was also immediately informed of what had happened. His Excellency the President assured us that he would cause a public statement to be made so that the whole nation would be notified of the bereavement that has befallen us. This he did, and as you all heard, the news got round and literally shook the rudiments of this country. We are most grateful for your visit. We have since this morning received various visits, including that of the ex-president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his delegation who were here this morning. We understand from His Excellency President before that he will also be here around 5 o'clock. Absolutely no doubt. We also had a visit from the former Head of State of Liberia, Her Excellency Ellen Sirleaf Johnson. So you can see that obviously it's transcendent. Nana Konadu was not only a national figure, she was a global figure of repute. The embodiment of womanhood, the embodiment of the welfare of the downtrodden, of children, ensure that not only did we pay lip service to the weaknesses and deficiencies of our women and children, but got it enshrined in Law 111, intestate succession law. Formidable. So we will definitely let Parliament know when the program is finalized of the arrangements for her departure. No doubt the government will take part. No doubt NDC will be well represented. I need not remind those of you in the NDC political party that the foundations of your party were established by the Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and her late husband. The foundation which has kept you going and being represented in Parliament. So in a nutshell, we are grateful for your presence to join us in mourning this great woman. And may her soul continue to rest in peace. Thank you very much and welcome.
Leader, it's been confirmed that the story we heard is true. And so, on this note, we want to now convey our deepest condolences to the family. Leader, Minority Leader, if I have your permission, Parliament will want to ask that in the planning, you consider one of us to be a part of the planning committee so that we can communicate. The communication between the family and Parliament for purposes of the planning and all logistical arrangements. Parliament will be in the know. Speaker, unfortunately, is unavailable. We are certain that when he returns, Speaker himself will come and pay his condolences to you. Leader, with your leave, if the Minority Leader have a word.
Acho ochami ho mesrena makasaka Pacho said ya majority chief whip di kankan yen susu ye ni yenuanom majority for ye ni omo ene wo parliament omo si omo ye super majority ba yen susu do yes yes by a mighty minority. Na asem say ato yenua ba yentumi ma omunko a emba mane yeyi politics na ye no ye kire adwen na efie wona ye wono ye busua baako ye maame no waba besom oman Ghana sa first lady ekwenya no oma emu yedu obi adi wan dance yesusu no yete Beijing conference no ne emba no kan ba asem ne duku a obo ochre emba de beya ye bekata ye ho no frantuma me gidi se emma bebre sua bibi efri no ho nti ye ma yakasa ye tenten no ye edom kuma bibi se no yesi ye ne yenuanom eba ye ba no so deputy minority leader okaho bi ye deputy first second deputy whip okaho bi ena second deputy speaker mpemfo we nyina no mo ka dom kuma no ye ho ena ye ka sa super majority for no ho ena ya bebechia enti ye stress enhye bia ebusua mo ye no monkai se politics na ye de nanso asem we si a eye Ghana na asem ato no enti ye nyina ye ka ho bi ne kwakra no ye nua ba ye ma ne yakọ wa bin papa efie wona ye te no oni ye nyina ate yi enti ye ntumi nka se ato ne maame a ono nko a ndi awerho nyame ncheche ne re na onje ne nan so na megidi se obo ade a obo ye nyina na onim ye mbre a ewo ye nim no wa hyehye na ade dada nti no ye bebo mpa ya ma no na edwuma a oye ewo amanyose mu no onyankopon aboa no ama netumi aye ne yie enye ono nko a ne nuanom a eka no ho ye ma omu nyina ya akọ ye stress nyankopon ebe ma omu akukuduru a ombetumi akra abrewa no nechi kama na onu nso enwu se ba odi omu ba wiase no omu so ahye ne nyonyam me sorry ewo domkuma edimu a ene ochiame kakra yeso ye wono no munsampa
Anya Donkuma Casa for so as said okay. Mr. Asana parliamentarians member now NDC national chairman Ura Johnson doing Katia so now one in pen for Abba. Sir, where Mr. Mohammed? Yo, Mr. Mohammed, Ape Mote, yo. Say the mekano. Ura Fenyo Marking. Na mumba you know. Na Ura Sedu.
Presidential Mr. Really, now stress all fast. It was down. Yeah, my of them. It really takes you one connection media. It's make it's in for a whole to come you know, mobile. My Citi. It's a Ura, I'm a face Yama, a and I'm a share, Yamami, about Penny, Patricia, PG. I'm a share,
Jerry Ame. Me we fi say, my first Habib Idrisu, Tolon MP, Owomechi. Na chief whip for no, Omusuba said the Etia no. Manshana man ya de ni ya, ekonyo na meti so no, obetumi asan mase. Nti no, omuhu ye hu papa. And into no, Mr. Ono na miwe fie, enti petit minority whip or mechi. Into Mr. Me inache. Name MPs a odro na omu wechi. Medase.
Mr. Moa, Mama Supaka said the Mekano. Parliamentarians, Mumbai, not Ura Johnson, I said, look at here, not chairman of NDC. Now, a near the Diamania, and on one can't say, Yay, now, Momex, Namuvia, Wakasati, chairman, Madame Drew, so.
Avenue in Fraye. Yo, Abusha Chame, Betiama Bushafu Ninati. Se Muhu Meha. Any NDC Penifua. Now, Cray woman say, Nanka and MP4 no neighbor, and say traffic situations in the May and Yedi Kai. A Jaw. Na and said the Michame no di Kai. And Nora, Yan Tiasa Mode. Na me wo Keta. And the Ademi call Keta and say, you found a woo, no. And feel no super penny. And think up 15th. Ever quack or yet, nay, a mamma so traditional funeral. Na ye ne ma, any party panifun in our campum say. Ever quack or yet, sa a year no. Let's just say, a jano quite cry. Indeed, the Demico na. Sa a year no hon to ya, Nanka mene anglo abushan for Equa Cohen ya to Tono ho. Na face so Masaya, Miamajima Kakra, Ports and Harbors, Port to be or Keta or not, Yaho. Inti meeting no Siana, Omofrey, Eka say, Assembly, Asi, and I'm sure you're not correct. Tiomo mean Tiomanam Frey, Larry. Ebisano said the meeting here na at the same. And also me man na on checking out on the same frame. Till one or friend say I am part. I said the human tiano wouldn't me and none of you ho. And now Oka say, O come once open home class or programs are be going in our best. Inti at the anemia tramusa EVA. Inti no pai maybe drew and I'm afraid. Honorable Zanato said, the Yatini, and the General Secretary so to quite, and the may Wabwa party fuano, na Yakan, MPs no, na Yaba Bechiao, and also you, but 3 o'clock or na Yamahopai. Inti and one who boa near Yadiaba. Na Biasinu de Yamia Quine. Obia Antiasie, Intiaba never said Fanusa. When the Ma, Assisi, Nansaya, the decay 30 years ya, Beijing conference ya, na Mammy Konadu dear Mukoen. And fear a Diasan Pepe penny. Almost I free, I didn't know 30 years plus, Beijing 30 years plus. Afia so Yawa Mammy Konadu ni General Secretary. I know 31st December, General Secretary, a year Yenuamba Cecilia Johnson. Also, a bear said now to bear me and Sunny, and also a free. Until last week, and in the bush and for no tewa, ye no hon to ye. Na ye share delegation, a bebo, Mammy Konadu Amania, and we swab bisi. Enti Sabri ye wahu here mupa. Say Mamma no or no or non so. Na be 15 fu noa ye kwako ye founder na ye no ketano. Miniha me buy now ma fix it abushan for fix it non so anti Citi no. Then so akwa kushia the same 15th. It didn't write a call meeting Brandon Citi. Nadia na ACC Yantiasi, then you can see me Nusa Nina acting from different angles, aqua kushia. Send him say, they thought so me and Sansokura baby boom. Entinya me nim nimra yati no na akoye bibia yati asia enye na enyame akwai timejina party no nyina na mu adma abusua nyina yako yenua ma no ne minua kimati no nyina mamu yako na dia ba nyina no nyame akwai obi ani ho a obetimi akyerase na dia sinu sade mechame no dika aka no asem kese ma o my Ghana no nyina NDC ma me no aka ho ne eti NDC ko no dum sa chire okote party foforo de ba history wo ho de ehunu se o kan ho ne eti ko no pa enti party no ahwedade o my Ghana so ubia magana wabedi first lady 19 years this is Mammy Konadu kwa enti eno so asemo aba no ato Ghana manyina eno nti me fe se minua afenyo any minority for about Bekayo. As I say, Ghana Manina, Yankamum, na enidia ese efatano. Yemfanya mameno kwai. Na esi bema baby, ono so enu ti ase o ka se bema baby, o se ka se oba baby. On peut dire avec assez bema baby. Enti nipa baby. Awa me ni nyina, me giri se de nipa ba ko betimi aye adura. Ena okoye dure. Enti na yehunu se ya ne abusua nyina entrance. Sisi de fene se party akese mienu nyina ye nyina hunu se yaye. President Akufo-Addo wabako President Kufuor enam kwan so a oba. President Mahama ono so agye na sinina so a what declare 3 days of mourning ni ade ade. Nti ebesere se diaka ene ye ne ebeye ho planning no. Besere se yenyina yemfa abutre na ubia esese ne die wo mu no oka ho yenyina nkambom ne nyama me no kwai na afofra wo sub region so wo mo fa ensua ade say ye council of elders chairman ono so kura free meeting say brada ye nhia ne hwe kwan a ye de sa asem kasi ebe fa so enti mejina party no nyina na mu ama abusua nyina yako na yahye moden ne aka kire mo se ye nyina eni anya enunti eye ehon tutu ye nyina no eso ye wo director welfare director o nyamencha de ono so free asante enti obeka abusua ho na se de beya ye betimi atimi atutu bibia na yakoja mame no kwai nigiri se ye ne council for no hia ye behunu se ebi aketa yie no yenye no den yentunse ana ebeko ne abeye we Cecilia Johnson de yenye no den nigiri se ye betimi atranse ya plan sa na eba no nyina na de ese ye de to no ye de ato nti ebeda mu nyina se avenue Omo introduce me no omo jam post back come acting national chairman of NPP. Okay. Me acting chairman. Never ever I want to. Enti abusha ko ebada mu nyina. Na nyame mfa ye ma me no kra ensie yie edamoto.
Yo, I was hoping Anka the chairman aka say the Nanka aka say but humbe make me di kanka say no the ball me leadership ni na enti na me say ehun hia say obia but honorable minority leader we need the film. It's a humbe here say me the majority leadership yaba quickly no. The majority leader, the Honorable Mama Yariga. He's here. And then deputy majority leader, the Honorable Ricketts Kweku Hagan is also here. Then the first deputy Whip, Honorable Comfortoyo, she's here. My second deputy whip, Richard Champon, unfortunately he's not available, so he couldn't be here. Myself, my name is Roxin Dapomoko, Chief Whip. Thank you.
Patrol. Na yammati asese enhye bia ebenhye no yenye mumuda yentiri kra enhye kra nda bemu no mudia na so ni na gina mampani so na abibi akani na omen jeje mami kwa kama semo a telefone wo no condolence book no wa semo na musa ya sa na chiri na mo madi na dana to so what jab concerning na what demo
We're still bringing pictures from the residence of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, where individuals, or notable individuals, and the general public have made their way here to commiserate with the bereaved family. Presently, musician Kujo Intri has made its way here in the presence of, or in the company of Ace broadcaster KKD. We are expecting the former president John Agyeman-Rawlings to also make an appearance by way of performing, same function. The national chairman for the governing National Democratic Congress, the party birthed by the late First Lady and a husband, also of blessed memory, Jerry John Rawlings, is now signing the book of condolence at their residence in Accra, where their 4 children and family members are stationed to receive guests who have thronged their premises to console them in such difficult times. Earlier we heard from leaders of both sides of Parliament, the minority